On the Gamebridge Ball State Cardinals Sports Network from Learfield. Welcome to This Week in Ball State Sports, a Ball State athletics podcast, highlighting the Cardinals athletic teams and administration each week. Presented by Gamebridge. Here's the voice of the Cardinals, your host, Mick Tidrow.
Ball State fans, this is episode 25 of This Week in Ball State Sports, and we're happy to be joined by Director of Athletics Jeff Mitchell to get this thing started. Jeff, it's always exciting to be able to jump on the podcast and talk about MAC champions. And from track and field, we can already talk about that from the indoor MAC championships that happened this past weekend. 3 individual champions, 1 team bronze medal finish. Just an excellent, excellent way to cap off the indoor season.
Yeah, happy Monday as we record this, and happy Tuesday as our fans listen to it on the drop date. But yeah, what a great weekend for Ball State track and field in the indoor MAC championships. A third place overall finish for our women, which was a really good result. 3 champions. 2 for Janelle Rogers, 1 in the pentathlon, 1 in the high jump, and then 1 for Jenna Oriani, who won the 400-meter race. And proud of those 2 young ladies. They're exceptional athletes and helped us score a lot of points for that third-place overall finish. And now we turn our attention to the outdoor season, and those 2 individuals and a whole host of our other talented runners will and field event participants will contribute significantly towards defending that MAC championship from a year ago. So really excited about them as they go about the spring.
And the indoor season is such a fun tone setter for what the outdoor season could possibly bring, and to already have some MAC champions from this track and field season is a great way to start this push through the year.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a great tune-up, and again, we're very competitive in the sport, so that makes it a little bit more compelling. But Coach Adrian Wheatley and his staff and that team continued to knock down barriers and continue to achieve great things. So looking forward to their spring season.
Spring season underway for Ball State baseball, Ball State softball. Baseball team picking up another victory over a Big Ten team in Illinois. A great performance them from a 7-1 win there.
Yeah, a good punchback win on Sunday. Took a couple on the chin. Let one get away from us against Cincinnati on Saturday, and then lost to a very good Coastal Carolina team as well. And doubleheaders are common early in the season, but when you're dealing with a situation where we were only going to play 1 game a day going into the weekend. We were supposed to play Illinois on Friday, and then you were playing Cincinnati and Coastal to wrap up the weekend. The weather shifts, the schedule shifts, and that's just really difficult sometimes to adjust. And what I'm pleased about is that we didn't let Saturday affect Sunday, and we go out and beat a Big Ten program. So proud of Coach Maloney and his team, and they continue to play well. I think it was really good baseball for the most part over the weekend, and excited that they will go on the road for their spring break trip coming up, return to Florida for several games, and then not this coming weekend, but the next weekend, you're opening MAC play. And MAC play comes a little bit earlier now, and we'll have another non-conference weekend later in the season. But it's coming. And look, if the weather on March 7th, 8th, 9th, or 8th, 9th, 10th, whatever that weekend is like it is outside right now, sign me up because we're experiencing some pretty days here in Muncie, and it feels like baseball season. So we're looking forward to it.
It does feel like baseball season, and that first series in March is going to come fast as we're sitting here on February 26, 27, recording this. On the Ball State softball front, we saw a 9th-inning go-ahead grand slam from Michaela Timmons in one of the games down there. Cardinals, pretty good showing this weekend as well from the softball side.
Yeah, I'm very proud of that team going 3-2 on the weekend. The heroics in extra innings from Michaela, pretty special. And then we had a top 10 play on SportsCenter, which was pretty cool too for the program. And then 2 really competitive games against Georgia Tech on Getaway Day on Sunday. So Coach Pena and I texted yesterday as they were making their trek back to Muncie, and she's so excited and so proud of her team for how they're competing. And that's been a hallmark for this team since I've arrived, and what I've observed about them is that they just compete. And so that's going to continue to serve them well, certainly as we get into conference play. So they've got another couple of weekends of non-conference softball before they get into conference play, and but they've been fun to watch, and they're getting better, and that's encouraging early in the season.
Well, Jeff, they limited a highly powered offense from Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech, you look up and down that lineup, and they're 300 hitters or above, and the pitching staff was able to, for the most part, neutralize that Georgia Tech team. Speaks volumes to where this team is at from a pitching standpoint early in the year for Ball State.
Yeah, I think Helen's doing a nice job, and I think we'd like to be deeper overall, and there's no softball team or baseball team in the country that wouldn't say that they want to be deeper in the circle or on the mound. But Helen's doing a great job of getting those young ladies prepared. And I think the other element that was encouraging about our performance against Georgia Tech was we scored first in both games. I believe that's right, and just attacking first, I think, is something that our team will continue just as we develop our offense. And so, again, really excited about the future of that program.
You talk about attacking early. That's what Ball State men's volleyball did. Not too much action for them in the last couple of days, but 1 win last week. They've got 2 home matches coming up against Queens Friday and Sunday, but that team is locked in right now at the top of the MIVA.
They are locked in. They are hitting their stride, and now giving this team, as connected as they are, some time to prepare is very dangerous. And so they go to a pair of matches coming up this weekend, then another little time off. They're going to make a foreign trip to Puerto Rico, and they're going to do some community service, train, and then get back and attack the second half of the season. But they're playing great. They're fun to watch, super athletic, and really competitive. And again, and I've said this before, a really competitive league in the MIVA. So excited for the last half of MIVA play here in the spring.
During the season, going on a trip like men's volleyball is to do community service in season. Like, that's something that teams have to plan for, navigate the schedule through, and make sure they have enough time to do that. How important, how special is that to see this team go out and do that during the season?
I think it's part of their culture of giving to others, and certainly the type of human being that Donan Cruz is in leading our program. He's got a great staff, and I think he's bringing a collection of human beings to the Ball State community that understands that the game is a platform from which they can provide entertainment options for the community to come watch and play, but also that they can serve as well, and to be able to go and experience a different culture, to go and experience a population that is a little bit more vulnerable, and to provide some joy and service to those individuals, I think is very meaningful, and I think it changes lives, not only for the recipients, but I think it changes the lives of those who conduct the service. And so for Coach Cruz to give that type of education to our team is admirable and important, and certainly fits what we're trying to do as an athletics department, which is to continue to build leaders and winners, and we do that in sharing experiences like this with our student athletes.
Jeff, building leaders and winners, we talk about that with Ball State Gymnastics every week on the podcast at this point, but another good performance from them, scoring a 197, and they're rolling along back into the win column here, Jeff. Just a few more meets as we get ready for the MAC championships, less than a month away here in Muncie.
Yeah, they're continuing to compete well. Went to D.C. and had a great night and won that meet. And then they did something cool the following day. They got up early and they went to do some sightseeing and saw the changing of the guard. And Coach Salim was like, some of these young ladies haven't been to the nation's capital, and so to see them experience some of the pageantry around what makes our nation great in our nation's capital was pretty special. And again, providing those type of experiences for our student athletes as we educate them and continue to develop them as leaders and winners is not taken lightly by our head coaches. And it's a responsibility that they have to give of themselves and create experiences for our student athletes from which they can learn. And I can't wait to hear some of the stories from those young ladies as they return to campus about how special it was to spend a couple of days in the nation's capital.
Because as much as these competitions are business trips and victories are the end goal, you still want to provide those types of experiences and balance out the student athlete's education, right? This isn't just go out and compete, but we also want to give them a chance to see what's out there in this country too.
Yeah, it's serious, but it's fun too.
Yeah.
And you prepare to win, and so you go and perform, and you perform at your best. And if the result is winning, that's excellent. But you also want to have some fun. You also want to create memories and experiences, because that's what binds not only a team together, but it perpetuates a culture. And so we've got a lot of aspiring student athletes that want to come and experience the things that our current teams are experiencing. And so to establish a legacy of fun experiences, certainly winning, is very attractive to prospective student athletes. And again, it's more it's important for our current student athletes to embrace the full experience of their time as a student and as an athlete at Ball State. And I think our program is doing an excellent job of making sure that it's a total experience.
Jeff, we talked about track and field competing at the MAC championships on the indoor side at the beginning of the show, but women's swim and dive now is going to the MAC championships in Athens, Ohio this week. That team's gearing up and ready to roll on that side.
Yeah, I think they're ready too. They've been preparing and performing well. Coach Jay Agnew is a special coach and has done a great job with our men's and women's swim and dive teams, and excited for the opportunities that those two programs are going to have in their respective conference championships coming up, and looking to do the best that they can do as a group, and certainly in some individuals races as well. But this team's ready. Both of them are, and again, a lot of credit not only to Jay Agnew, but to the young men and women that have put forth a lot of time to prepare for an opportunity like this.
Well, Jeff, before we let you go, anything that jumps out to you that you want to share with the Ball State community?
Well, spring is just around the corner, and we've got a lot to play for as we go into the spring seasons. So we look forward to seeing folks outside at some events for baseball and softball. But we've got a few basketball games left in Worthen, and men's volleyball is in action a lot for the next several weeks. So coming out and support us. We feed off the energy of our fans, and our student athletes appreciate the attendance of those that are passionate fans, those that are curious, those that just want to get out of the house and do something on a random evening or afternoon. And so we encourage you to do that as often as you can and experience what we have to offer here at Ball State Athletics.
Well, Jeff, we appreciate you here on episode 25. Thank you, and we'll talk to you next week, which will be in March. Hard to believe that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mick. Go Cards.
Sometimes it's not the moment. It's the moment before the moment. The moment you make a choice. The moment you take control. The moment only you can own. Gainbridge lets you invest on your terms. So you're not only in charge of this moment, but all the moments to come. Start investing now at Gainbridge.io.
Welcome back inside This Week in Ball State Sports. And today we have a special guest from Ball State Financial, Dusty Simmons. Dusty, this is a fun conversation. And first and foremost, we appreciate you joining us.
Well, thank you so much for having me, Mick. We're extremely excited to be here today.
Dusty, there's a hot rumor going around that says that Ball State Financial has Charlie Cardinal debit cards. This is true, right? This is big news.
I can finally confirm that rumor is true. Yes. We are so excited to be able to offer the new Dancing Charlie logo on a featured debit card, and we're the only ones in the market who's doing that. So extremely excited to be chosen and honored as the partner for Ball State Athletics for such a cool campaign and program.
Dusty, I can be a firsthand testament to this because I just got mine last week and I love it. It's the silver card with the dancing Charlie in the lower left-hand corner. So if you haven't got one yet, make sure to go over to Ball State Financial and pick it up. But Dusty, on that note, how can people pick up their Charlie Cardinal debit card? How can they get started with Ball State Financial?
Yeah, so just a little bit about Ball State Financial. We are the credit union of the university, and we are really close to campus off of Oakwood Avenue. And then we have a second location on campus in the Student Center, and you can open the Charlie card at either of those locations or at fcfcu.com/checking. FCFCU is in reference to our parent company. So Ball State Financial is a partner credit union to Financial Center First out of Indianapolis. So yeah, it's super easy to get your account. You just go online or stop in the branch, and if you stop in the branch, you can leave the branch with your card in hand and ready to spend. So we love that.
And Dusty, it is tap card, right? It has the tap feature.
Yeah, it definitely does. So, whether you're going to tap physically or you're going to put your card in the digital wallet or Apple Pay or any of those, it works either way.
And if you're one of the first 200 members, right, there's also some extra incentive.
Exactly. So, the Charlie card can be added on. If you're an existing member, you can get that. You can go in tomorrow and say, hey, I want to switch over to the Charlie card, and the folks in the branch will be able to take care of you. Or if you're a new member, you'll get that card anytime you open a new checking account. And when you do open that account, yes, you also get a free gift. We have these really cool Ball State Athletics large tumblers. So if you're a person who likes to put your coffee in the car or your iced something in the car, it's a great ride along, got a nice lid. And the first 200 people that open an account will get one of those fantastic red and white tumblers.
That sounds like a really good deal from Ball State Financial, Dusty. Just from your aspect and your perspective, how long have you been at Ball State Financial?
It's interesting. So Ball State Financial was actually a division that was acquired by our credit union about 5 years ago, Ball State Federal Credit Union. So I've been with the company almost 13 years, and Ball State Financial has been a part of us for the last 4 or 5, and it's been a fantastic partnership. And it's been a fantastic opportunity for the university as well to come alongside in a bigger capacity, in a greater capacity, as the credit union of the university.
You mentioned Ball State, you mentioned the university. How involved are you and Ball State Financial with the university?
Well, we're just extremely privileged to be a part of the university as a whole. We do a lot of things. As I mentioned, we have locations right there on campus for students and faculty to take advantage of. And then we're off campus for the Muncie community. And then we're here in Indianapolis as well, throughout Central Indiana. For anybody who's an alumni or a fan who wants to become a member, that's there. We have a pretty large partnership with the Miller College of Business. Our focus is around financial literacy, and several years ago, the university's College of Business approached us to become the partner of theirs to talk about financial literacy more. So we have a classroom in the Miller College on the first floor, really nice logo on the wall. And we do a lot with Financial Literacy 101 course. And we do some guest lecturing in there. And our podcast called Carpe Dime is actually a part of the course curriculum. So lots of interaction with athletics, of course, through our sponsorship with you all. You'll see us out at major sporting events, and our on-campus activation team are out and about, whether they're at a sporting event or other on-campus events, late nights and others. You'll see them out and about everywhere on campus, having games, talking about financial wellness and how to become a member. So if you're on the university campus, it is likely you will run into us somewhere. And we're really excited about the opportunity to work with the university in several different ways.
Dusty, I love the part about financial literacy and the Miller College of Business. How did that come about? Because that is such an interesting and unique partnership to have, and something that's very strong for both Ball State Financial and the university as a whole.
Well, I think it was just a mutual need had by the Miller College to really talk to students about outside of that classroom environment, how does, managing your finances work in the real world? And a lot of times you see that's not really offered in high schools or to kids as they're growing up from their families. And so it's really on us as individuals to become financially literate and to make good financial choices. And Financial Center, for the longest time, we're like an 8-time national award winner in the category of both adult and youth financial literacy, because we long time ago just kind of latched on to, this is really our job as a credit union, to help people make good financial choices and to understand the decisions they're making. And so I think when, we came along, Ball State Federal and the university had the opportunity to see kind of how that is our focus and how we do that for our members, it was a great, easy translation to let's do the same thing for Ball State faculty, staff, students, and alumni who are staying here in Central Indiana.
Dusty, what else do you want people to know about Ball State Financial?
Well, most of all, the biggest thing that we come across is people don't understand what a credit union is. A credit union is a co-op, essentially. And we are like any other financial institution, like any bank that you can become a member of. But when you become a member of the co-op, you actually become a part owner of the organization. So unlike a bank whose financial decisions or decisions they're making for their customers, that's really all about, making their shareholder the most amount of money. The decisions that we make as an organization are all about doing the right thing for everybody who owns us. So everybody who's a member, who's a customer, it is about ensuring that we're taking care of the collective. So, the old school thought is like, it's hard to become a member of a credit union, or they don't have the same technology and services that banks do. And it's just simply not true. We're there in every aspect. And we're here also to ensure that we take care of the people that belong to us first. So, we'd love to talk to you more, anybody who's listening or watching, more about how to become a member and what the benefits of membership look like. So
what's the best way for people to find you or Ball State Financial as a whole?
Yeah. So again, if you're in the Muncie community, you can stop by our branch off of Oakwood. That's probably the best way. We have this great brand new refurbished Ball State Financial flagship branch that's beautiful. And we have great staff in there who love to talk to you about what the benefits of our credit union are. Or, for the rest of us who love to just kind of check things out online first, we're at fcfcu.com. And there is a Ball State Financial specific page that you can learn more about what our partnerships with the university look like and how we're making a difference in East Central Indiana. And then obviously, if you're outside of that area, where else we are.
Awesome. Well, Dusty, we appreciate your time and your efforts and the partnership with Ball State Financial and Ball State Athletics. Thank you so much for joining us on This Week in Ball State Sports.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Sometimes it's not the moment. It's the moment before the moment. The moment you make a choice. The moment you take control. The moment only you can own. Gainbridge lets you invest on your terms. So you're not only in charge of this moment, but all the moments to come. Start investing now at Gainbridge.io.
Hey, Cardinal fans, welcome back into episode 25 of This Week in Ball State Sports. And this week we have from Ball State Field Hockey, Ball State Athletics, and Ball State SAC, Elyse Horner joining us on the show. Elyse, we appreciate you joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So, Elyse, you kind of check a lot of boxes in your collegiate career and now working with the athletics department. Just want to start there. What's the experience been like for you to dive in and be a part of athletics as a student athlete?
It's been a big change this semester with finishing field hockey now and kind of going into working, taking no classes. It's been an interesting change, but honestly, I'm loving it. I was saying to my mom literally yesterday, I don't think I've been this happy in a long time. It's been a change, but I'm honestly liking it a lot, and I like seeing the behind the scenes. It's given me a new sense of athletics in a different world to kind of be on the inside of it now, see all the behind the scenes. It's really cool, and I'm enjoying it so far.
You mentioned a different perspective. What kind of new perspectives have you seen?
Being an athlete, it's kind of easy to nitpick some of the things within athletics and be like, why isn't this and this? But now, working in it, you're like, wait, this makes so much more sense on why how it all works, why it happens.
When you look at it from an internship standpoint, you graduated in May. How important is it to have this internship before graduation and to be able to set the new standard for you after graduation?
I think it's a great transition. The sports admin program gives us this great opportunity to, like, your last semester, you go out, you experience the real world, you get new experiences. It's kind of it's prepping you for what you're about to expect. And I wouldn't want it any other way. I'm really grateful for it. And I think that working within athletics, too, is prepping me the most I can be for my next job.
For those that don't know, what are your roles within athletics? I know it changes a little bit every day based upon what the needs are.
Wow, I've done a lot so far. I mean, I'm coming on the end of month 2, so I help a lot with graphics, stats, working at games, doing in-game stuff. What else do I do?
Everything in between.
Everything in between. Honestly, it's great. Every day changes, and I like that because I'm a type of person that likes to keep things fresh, changed all the time. And so I like working within athletics because it's never the same. You never get bored. There's always something new, always changing. And so it's been fun because it's like showing up today, what project am I going to get handed today? And it's been kind of cool.
So as a student athlete, what sparked your interest in jumping into an internship with the athletics department?
The opportunity that I've had being a student athlete, I knew from the beginning when I had to do this internship that I knew that I kind of wanted to stay within athletics, A, because of my connections, and B, because I was like, honestly, they've given me so much, I kind of want to give back and help out as much as I can.
And looking at the program that you were a part of for 4 years on the Ball State field hockey side, what made you choose Ball State to come here for education, to come here for field hockey?
I'm a Midwest gal. I'm from Wisconsin, and field hockey in the Midwest is not popular. It's a pretty small-knit community, and so I knew from the beginning of my recruiting process that I wanted to stay within the Midwest, which from the beginning made my pool of school choices small. And the club I played for played out of Northwestern a lot, so our previous field hockey coach here at Ball State was from Chicago, and so she knew a lot of my coaches because the club I played for field hockey-wise was in Chicago as well. So I had connections with her through Illinois, Chicago field hockey, and when I came on my visits here at Ball State, part of it just like the second I stepped on campus, I was like, this is home. I just kind of had that feeling that I knew that this is where I wanted to be. Like, I'm not the biggest city girl or anything like that, so like it just felt like it was meant to be. And also when I went on my visit, there were girls on the team that were like from Kentucky and other places in the Midwest, and everyone was so welcoming. And I remember on one of my visits too, they did like team activities, and it was like karaoke night or something, and I was like, oh yeah, these girls look all so fun, I can't wait to be a part of it. And I don't know, it was just kind of that feeling and the draw to the family atmosphere on the team, and like Midwest field hockey, it's not too far, but it's still far from home, and I just had that feeling that I knew that this is where I wanted to be.
Did they make you sing karaoke when you were on your visit?
Luckily, no. I mean, they tried, but like I'm kind of shy at first, and so I was like, no, thank you, I'm good.
One thing that we all see and we all love and appreciate about field hockey fans at Ball State is that they're very adamant about making sure the experience in the parking lots and the tailgates are welcoming for all fans to be a part of. That's such a fun culture to walk through the doors and have that fandom be right there and ready to go to support this team.
Yeah, our parents and our families and our fans are like diehard field hockey fans. I don't know how they do it. Our parents on our team will do anything for all of us, and we could not be where we are and do what we do without them. Like, our parents, they travel like weekend after weekend, road trips, follow us anywhere we go. They're big tailgaters. They love to have a fun time and always make it fun. And like, if one girl's parents aren't there that weekend, all of our other parents make them. Like, my parents are your parents are my parents. Like, you have a hard day, like, hard game, someone else's parents are there to give you a big hug, tell you it's okay, give you our classic buffalo chicken dip. Our team is a huge buffalo chicken dip fan, so the tailgates after our games, like, we wouldn't be the team we are today if it weren't for our fans and our family that support us.
Oh, that's awesome. Buffalo chicken dip, also A+. Great choice. Elyse, when did you start playing field hockey? Why was it a part of your life?
I started playing in 4th grade. So field hockey in Wisconsin is really not a thing. One could almost say it's not existent, but it's a very niche community. And my school that I went to was one of 5 schools in the entire state that had field hockey and had a field hockey program. And we had like a middle school team and a high school team. And so I started playing in 4th grade, all because of my best friend's grandma played at Northwestern. And she had a club in our area at the time. And so I kind of started because of that. And it was one of those sports that I was like, well, my school has it. I played ice hockey a little because I have like all-boy family, brothers, cousins, and everyone played ice hockey. And I was like, oh, ice hockey's fun. Like, my brothers and all my boy cousins are playing it. I'll play. But then I kind of got sick of it because I was the only girl on my teams. So I was like, well, there's field hockey. It's kind of similar. So I got into field hockey in 4th grade, played all through middle school. I played a lot of sports growing up, soccer, track, cross country, basketball. And when I got to middle school, I kind of realized I specialized in like basketball and field hockey. And I was trying to decide the whole time which one I wanted to play in college. And my dad had to sit me down and give me a hard conversation that, like, you're 5'2", 5'3", like, I don't know how far you can go in basketball. So I was like, you're right, I like field hockey more anyways. And ever since then, I started to take it a lot more seriously. Like 7th, 8th grade, I knew that I wanted to play in college. And so that's when I started traveling down to Chicago to play for my club team as well.
So a lot of your experiences with club teams.
Yes. Field hockey, like, in Wisconsin, like I said, it kind of wasn't a thing. So all my experience and the player I am today is kind of because of club. There was some opportunities, like my high school and playing in Wisconsin was kind of just like for fun. That was like when I could have for fun, like, I am a defender, but for my high school, I played like center, midfield, or forward. So it was honestly like just for fun. But my experience and the player I am today is because of my club.
Elyse, what memories will you take with you from your experience at Ball State as a member of the field hockey team?
Oh gosh, there's too many. I don't even know where to start, but I think my main ones I'd take away is just the friendships and families that I got and gained. My teammates are from all over the world, so I wouldn't trade my experiences that I had for the world. Like, it was hard. It was so hard, but it was so worth it. Like, all 26 girls on my team I would do anything for, and I know that I have sisters all around the world for the rest of my life. I could go to almost any state, a lot of the different countries, and I have a sister there, and there's so many memories, all the bus trips, all the locker room, like pregame locker room. That's my favorite time. Listening to music with the girls, getting hyped, and just like all of our experiences together. I really wouldn't change it for the world, and it doesn't feel real yet that it's over, and I think you'll be a harsh awakening when it hits me, but I wouldn't trade my time and experience for the world.
Elyse, you're also part of the Ball State Student Athlete Advisory Committee. Lots going on with what you all are putting in. Just had the Walk a Mile in Our Shoes with the Muncie Mission and a lot of the Ball State student athletes. And coming up soon in April, the Chirpies. There's much more between now and that. But with your experience with SAC, how has that gone?
It's been good. I was pulled into and brought into SAC my sophomore year, I believe, by end of my freshman year, sophomore year, by one of my senior friends who was in it at the time. And at first, it was like, oh, what is this? I've always been a type of person that I like leading and kind of doing extra work, and I'm also very organized, like to do fun like things, and so SAC was kind of like a perfect way for me to get into more things. Like, it's a good way to meet other athletes as well, because you're working with other athletes on other teams, and it's a good way to like give back to our community and like help all the other student athletes, and you're kind of leading and being the voice for your team within athletics, and it's a really cool group to be a part of. And I'm currently the secretary and social media chair, so it's fun to kind of like do everything like that. Like, I love taking notes and being super organized, so it's that type of stuff comes easy to me, but also doing the social media for SAC kind of helped me get into this role that I am now with my internship, because I run the SAC Instagram and I worked with a lot of people to put on Chirpies and worked with athletics. So it's kind of given me a lot of opportunities, and we have a lot coming up with Chirpies. Chirpies planning is full swing. Big Chirpies fan. I'd do anything for the Chirpies. Chirpies back, year 2. We have a lot to look forward to for this year too.
That's less than 2 months away. Now we're officially under the 2-month window. When you hear that, how does that sound?
Stressful. It is stressful, but I wouldn't have it any other way. We're getting the voting process started, which was, my least favorite part of all of it is organizing that. But it's kind of fun to see all the nominees and votes be coming in, because it's cool to hear about other athletes. Like, sometimes it's easy to get caught up in your own team and your own team's success, and this is a great way to celebrate everyone and to see, like, oh, I would have no idea that this person did this because I'm so, like, in on my own team. So I like, even though it's a big job to take on and to be the one organizing all of that, I do enjoy it because I get to see so many cool stories come in and organize it all and be the one to help those athletes celebrate their successes.
So you said you help out with the social media and you're a part of other sections of SAC. How have you seen yourself grow since you joined as a sophomore to where you're at as a senior within SAC?
I've seen myself grow as a lot. When I first joined SAC, I would just go to the meetings and I'd sit there in the back and I'd just be like, okay, like, I'm here, I signed the attendance sheet. Now, like, I'm not afraid to stand up and give a whole speech in front of all the other student athletes. I could do that if I wanted. Like, I presented an award last year at the Chirpies, which was like really cool experience and I'm so grateful for. But I've just seen myself grow a lot more as a leader and not, like, have confidence in myself that, like, you can do this. Like, you can stand up, you can talk in front of all these people, you can organize all these student athletes, you can help put on this giant award show. Like, honestly, it's helped me grow and become so overall, like, the person that I am today because of all the opportunities it's given me.
I think I speak for a lot of people that we can't wait for the Chirpies this year because of how well done it was last year by the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, the production from SportsLink, and everybody involved. We appreciate the work that you're doing with SAC, with athletics, and thanks for joining the show. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Go Cards.
Thanks for listening to This Week in Ball State Sports, presented by Gamebridge. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Gamebridge Ball State Cardinals Sports Network.